Welcome back, guys, to the channel. I'm Jake Ellenbogen, and today we have some news. The Rams are bringing back some coaches of old. They're keeping coaches of new, and we're going to get into it. So before we do, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoyed this. But let's dive right in. We have a new Rams offensive coordinator that is none other than former assistant or former quarterbacks coach from 2020. That is Liam Cohen, who took the Kentucky Wildcats to become a top 4 offense in the SEC. He was on many coaching radars and could potentially even be a head coach in college, but he has assumed the role of offensive coordinator for the Rams. Of course, that does mean that he will not be calling plays. Sean McVay will be doing that. So that is something that he is very well aware of, but he also is aware that Kevin O'Connell was doing the same thing, just won a Super Bowl, and is headed to the Minnesota Vikings to become the new Minnesota Vikings head coach. Cohen is going to bring in a new feel because I think a lot of people expected the Rams to go with Thomas Brown, including myself. Thomas Brown needs to be seasoned more in the passing game, and that is why it was also announced that the Rams will likely bring back Thomas Brown, or Thomas Brown will likely stay with the Rams in some capacity. Now, the Rams want to be able to, mainly Sean McVay wants to be able to set him up for future offensive coordinator consideration, and I think a lot of that is going to come down to him working in the passing game. So they want to expand on his reach as far as his knowledge and what he is familiar with, his experience. They want to expand on that in the passing game. Obviously, this is somebody that has done a great job as a running backs coach and has challenged McVay as the assistant head coach, but he will also have a newer role where he'll have more responsibility because Sean McVay clearly is trying to set him up to become an offensive coordinator and an eventual head coach. You look over at Cohen. Cohen is going to likely be a one-year thing. He's going to be the OC, not call plays. He'll either go somewhere and call plays next year. It's similar to what Matt LaFleur did with the Rams, going to the Titans, coaching under Mike Vrabel, and then becoming the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. Or he'll stay like O'Connell did and become a head coach that way. But I think Cohen is probably working his way at age 36 into becoming a head coach, whereas Thomas Brown, who is very much in the running and did get an interview with the Miami Dolphins, he is definitely somebody that is being well talked about, well known. I think Sean McVay has bigger plans for him, and I'll just say this right now, I don't know for sure, but it almost makes me wonder if Sean McVay feels like Cohen can help them now. He's experienced in the passing game. He's going to, take this passing attack to the next level with Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Odell potentially, and Cam Akers and all of them. And then he feels as though he's the next in line to become a head coach, so wants to help him out, but also knows that he can help him out as well. But I do think that there is something there with Thomas Brown to me that speaks to me in a way that Sean McVay not only wants him to be, conditioned and trained and groomed into a true offensive coordinator that knows both, the running game and the passing game well and, can adapt and can work with it. But I almost wonder if this is Sean McVay saying, hey, you're going to stay here. You're going to learn the ins and outs, and I'm going to promote you to be the first play caller OC in the history of this regime. And I genuinely wonder if that is why, Thomas Brown is wanting to stay, is why he didn't end up getting picked up in any capacity by the Vikings. I'm very curious. But another thing I'm very curious about, the Rams are bringing back former 2006, 2007 offensive coordinator Greg Olsen, as well as 2017 quarterbacks coach. He coached for the St. Louis Rams in 2006, 2007. And of course, he was with Sean McVay in his first coaching staff, if you will, in 2017. He moved on with John Gruden when Gruden got the job in Oakland at the time, now Vegas. And Greg Olsen will be back. We're not sure in what capacity. The 58-year-old definitely has plenty of experience. He's been around. He can help. But it will be interesting if he takes on an assistant head coach job, takes over that job from Thomas Brown, in attempt for Sean McVay to focus Thomas Brown on developing in the passing game. And I think that's a big thing there that is going to be put out. And then on top of that, we have one more coach here, the Rams. Of course, he's going to stay, and that is Zach Robinson, the former NFL quarterback and the former PFF analyst. Zach Robinson's been there for 3 years. He joined on in 2019 when Zach Taylor left. He became the assistant quarterbacks coach. Then he was moved to assistant wide receivers coach in 2020 when Liam Cohen took over. And now he is no longer the wide receivers coach. He is the quarterbacks coach, was last year. He's expected to have a bigger role. And at 35 years old, just like Thomas Brown, this is a very young coaching staff that has plenty of potential, despite the fact they lost Ejiro Evero, despite the fact they lost Dwayne Stukes, Wes Phillips going over to become the OC there over in Minnesota. I think there's a lot to work with here for the Rams, and I think there's a lot being set up, a lot of different paths that are being taken. And I just have to credit Sean McVay for, it's not long after winning a Super Bowl and you're celebrating and all this, but to make sure that your coaching staff is this nailed down, this tight, it's very impressive, and he continues to do it year in and year out. It's very similar to the way, Les Snead continues to load up on, getting those guys, the disgruntled stars that no longer want to play in their current organization. He's somehow able to do it year in and year out. Sean McVay is somehow able year in and year out to recover from losing all of his coaching staff. So really impressed with Sean McVay. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch Thomas Brown develop. I know a lot of people are going to be upset that he's not the OC, but I'll say I think he has bigger plans for Thomas Brown than Liam Cohen. I think Cohen is going to be a head coach at the end of the season. I think he's going to do a nice job, and there's some truth to the Kentucky vibes. I mean, this is somebody that coached this team to almost average 32 per game. He is a good offensive coordinator, and we're going to see hopefully some of those college concepts and playing, some of that time in college, that 1 year, will be able to, translate to the NFL and add a little bit of, creativity. But on top of it, just try some new things. And here's the thing: by Sean McVay going to the college route instead of going in-house, he's getting more obviously creative ideas, but he's getting a different mind, because when you have the same guys in-house, it can be the same thing over and over again. It can be a little bit of an echo chamber. And so for me, I'm all for it. I'm really excited to see where this goes. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who do you want to be the eventual OC, if there is an OC that does end up calling plays? Do you want it to be Cohen? Do you want it to be Thomas Brown in the future? Will it happen? Do you think Sean McVay is going to give up his play calling the way Andy Reid did to Eric Bieniemy? What do you guys think? Is there somebody that we should be watching? Let me know below, but that is going to do it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, this is the Jake Ellenbogen channel, the 85% Rams channel that has basically become the 100% Rams channel. It's what happens when you win a Super Bowl. But again, you guys take care, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, I never do this, but literally right after I edited this video, news came out that the Rams got Jake Peetz. He is an offensive mind. He was formerly a running backs coach under Ron Rivera with the Panthers. He worked with Sean McVay in 2014 with the Washington Redskins at the time, now Washington Football, now Washington Commanders, whatever they are. Jake Peetz is last seen as the OC for the LSU Tigers. The Rams did meet with the assistant OC, Hankton, for the OC job. They ended up moving on to Cohen, as you guys know. But interesting ad here. Jake Peetz comes to the Rams, leaving a very prestigious program, OC opportunity to likely take a lesser role in all likelihood. Could be an assistant running back position, could be assistant tight ends, maybe a tight ends, wide receivers. Could be anything. Could be assistant OC. We don't know, but this is pretty interesting, especially the fact that, he's coached with guys like Nick Saban, and of course, Sean McVay as well as Matt Rule and Jack Del Rio as well. So he has a little bit of a reputation here, a good reputation at that. He's 38 years old, and once again, Sean McVay and his coaching staff, his offensive coaching staff, are getting younger, and it's starting to get really impressive over in LA. Not really a shock, but Jake Peetz looks like another really good hire here, as well as Cohen, keeping Zach Robinson, keeping Thomas Brown in the building, and adding Greg Olson for not only familiarity factor, but also that the veteran leadership presence. Being a 58-year-old head coach, one of the oldest on the coaching staff there. A lot of good stuff coming out of LA. We'll keep you updated, but just wanted to throw that your way before we ended the video. Take care, guys.